What's going on, guys? As you can tell, it's that time of year again. We're just dyeing some traps today, so come on, let me show you around. So what I did is I put a 55-gallon steel drum on top of some cinder blocks here. Made a little fire under it. That's gonna help me boil my traps. What I got going on here is I just took a wire and grouped all my coyote traps together, fox traps. I'm gonna dye those first. So it's kind of a little tip for you. If you don't want to reach your hand in there, just attach a wire to it here. I got it wired on. We'll drop that down in there and then get those dyed. I got a few traps here to dye today. Got a few dog-proof traps that need to get dyed. I'm actually gonna dye my trowel, other muskrat traps, and as you can see, I got a few other beaver traps that need to be dyed also. These traps here, though, I'll probably dye these. They're pretty good shape, but some of them are a little rusty. Those are all for water trapping. Got all my 110s hanging up here, my 160s, 220s, and 330s. So stay with me, and I'll kind of show you how I dye my traps. So this here is the trap dye that I use. It's just a logwood dye, the powder base. So this says it'll dye 1 to 2 dozen large traps or 2 to 3 dozen smaller traps, and I've got smaller traps, so I'm gonna just do one bag and probably right around 35 traps this one bag should do. So we'll go ahead and add it to the alright. So I got my stir stick here. Gonna add the trap dye now. This stuff will stain your clothes, so you have to be very careful. You don't splash your traps around when you set your traps in there. The dye actually looks like it's a brown color, but it'll dye the traps like a dark jet black color. Give that a nice good stir here. Let's open my eyes. Alright. Got that all mixed up, so show you what it looks like. Doesn't really look like much, but there it is there. It's like a dark red color almost. So, a little bit, I'm gonna set some traps in there. Now some of you guys might be wondering where you can get a barrel like this. Actually, got it for pretty cheap, right at my local scrapyard. $5. They'll charge a little bit more for the ones with lids, but this did have some oil in it. I did have to boil it with some water in there first, and then screen out the oil, but like I said, you can get them pretty cheap if you go to like your local scrap yard or post something on the internet, and the internet's usually pretty helpful. Got my little stack of wood there, and I'll keep on feeling this. We'll do this for about an hour or so. We're gonna go ahead and enter in some traps. Here's the first set of traps here. One thing I was going to mention to you guys is when you get brand new traps, you're going to want to leave them sit outside for a little bit. The factory oil and junk that's all over your traps, you're going to want to leave it sit outside for a little bit. So like this trap here is in perfect condition because it's got a little bit of rust on it. This was just used 1 year, so this will take some dye pretty good. So it'll go from a chromy, rusty color to a jet black with that logwood dye. You're gonna want to have a little bit of rust on your traps, so just so you know, especially the newer traps, you're gonna want to get all that oil off. Making sure my traps are completely submerged. Looks good. Well, what a lot of people don't understand is you really got to take care of your traps when you're trapping. That's what catches your animals. That's what puts money in your pocket. Well, maybe not this year, but or any year. But keep taking care of your traps allows you to keep going. I mean, I've got traps that old timers have given me from 50 plus years ago, so it's just a matter of taking care of traps and making sure they don't rust out. When they do get rusty, you take care of them, just like we're doing here. We're dyeing the traps, and that's gonna make them last longer, make them camouflage and scent free when they're in the water, or whether you're land trapping or water trapping, you got to take care of your traps. I got some of my beaver traps in there now. My drowner cables hanging out here. But yeah, that's all what she's gonna look like when they're dying. So pretty neat, guys. Here is the finished product here with the dyed traps. You can tell the difference. A lot blacker. Like I told you, that jet black color, it's gonna dye them. Got all my trap tags on there, and these here are all my raccoon, and I got a few muskrat mink traps on there. Here are beaver traps, a couple Victor jump traps for beaver, and then one coyote mink or muskrat drowner rigs I got set up, and makes quite a difference. So dye your traps, folks. Dye your traps.